This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Extreme heatwave hits one-third of U.S. Wellness checks, cooling centers, and record-breaking temperatures. Almost 100 million people across the United States spent the first day of summer on Thursday sweltering in temperatures that topped 90 degrees. The heat shattered temperature records and left roughly one-third of Americans under extreme heat advisories, warnings, or watches. Sheriff's deputies conducted wellness checks on older residents in rural Indiana. Officials urged homeless people to make use of cooling centers in Maine, and worried parents in the New York region took their children out of school early. The National Weather Service said that the heat wave will continue over the next several days, with temperatures reaching almost 100 degrees in some places, especially urban areas in the Northeast, and have issued a Level 4 extreme risk for cities in Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and Massachusetts, warning of rare and long-duration extreme heat with little to no overnight relief. The heat wave is expected to peak over the weekend in the Northeast, but not until early next week in the South and the Great Plains, and in some places the worst may be yet to come. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Life-threatening STSS infection linked between Connecticut and Japan. A Connecticut woman has been diagnosed with a life-threatening flesh-eating infection that is spreading rapidly in Japan. The patient was admitted to the hospital after experiencing symptoms such as vomiting, diarrhea, and respiratory and kidney failure. Doctors have identified the illness as streptococcal toxic shock syndrome, STSS, a lethal bacterial infection that has claimed the lives of 77 people in Japan this year. It is believed that she contracted the infection by breathing in infected air droplets, as some of her family members had previously been diagnosed with strep throat. While cases of STSS have spiked in Japan, experts maintain that the spread of the infection in the U.S. is unlikely. However, they advise patients to be vigilant about caring for open wounds and to seek medical attention if symptoms of STSS arise. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Trump media's stock nosedive. Truth Social's $2 billion plunge. Trump Media and Technology Group Corp., the company that owns Truth Social, has seen its stock sink near an all-time low. The company's shares have lost over $2 billion in value since the beginning of the month, with the stock price hovering around $27 per share. This downturn began after a New York jury convicted former President Donald Trump on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. The stock has continued to decline, with shares falling as much as 15% shortly after the market opened on Thursday. The company's stock has now lost roughly 50% since Trump's conviction. In addition, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, declared effective a regulatory filing that could even further dilute shareholders. The clearance allows investors in the firm's derivatives, known as warrants, to swap their holdings for shares, which in essence weakens long-time investors' stock positions even more. The social media company, mostly owned by former President Donald Trump, fell roughly 15% in late trading, contributing to a 36% slide this month. The exercise of these warrants could add up to $247 million to Trump Media's balance sheet, but also add millions of shares to the pool available for trading. This could create selling pressure, as investors who exercise the warrants sell the shares they generate. Trump Media's largest stakeholder is the former president himself, who holds nearly 115 million shares worth almost $3 billion. However, he and other insiders are restricted from selling stock until September, unless the company's board waives or pulls forward the expiration of the terms. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Showdown in Atlanta. Biden versus Trump on CNN. Former President Donald Trump will have the final word when he debates President Joe Biden on CNN. A coin flip determined podium placement and the order of closing statements. With the Biden campaign winning the toss, they chose the right podium position, meaning Biden will be on the right side of screens, and Trump's campaign chose for him to deliver the last closing statement. This will be the first presidential debate between an incumbent and a former president, as well as the first debate featuring either Biden or Trump since 2020. CNN's Jake Tapper and Dana Bash will host the 90-minute Showdown in Atlanta, with both candidates accepting the network's invitation and rules. The debate will have 2 commercial breaks, and campaign staff cannot interact with their candidate during that time. The CNN debate will take place on June 27th in Atlanta. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Alberto causes deadly flooding in Mexico and Texas. Alberto, the first named tropical storm of the Atlantic hurricane season, has dissipated after being downgraded to a tropical depression. The storm caused major flooding in parts of Mexico and Texas, resulting in at least 3 deaths. Alberto brought torrential rains and flash flooding to northeastern Mexico, with the potential for another 5 to 10 inches of rain. Inland heavy rain caused damage in the neighboring states of Nuevo Leon and Veracruz. Civil protection authorities reported 3 deaths linked to Alberto's rains in Nuevo Leon, including 2 minors who were riding a bicycle in the rain and were electrocuted. The storm also prompted tropical storm warnings along the western Gulf of Mexico's coastline. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Oakland Mayor Shang faces recall amid rising crime and controversy. Oakland Mayor Shang is facing a recall election after organizers gathered nearly double the required number of signatures to force the issue. The recall effort, led by retired Judge Brenda Harbin Forte, cites rising crime rates, the dismantling of the Oakland Police Department, and the mayor's handling of a state grant to combat retail theft as grounds for the recall. Thou has issued a statement in response, emphasizing her commitment to fighting for a safer, more affordable, and more prosperous Oakland. The recall petition was submitted to the Alameda County Registrar of Voters, and officials confirmed that the required number of signatures had been met. The next steps will be determined at an upcoming City Council meeting. Thou's office did not respond to requests for comment, and the mayor has yet to address the recall effort publicly. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Negro Leagues Tribute. Giants vs. Cardinals at historic Rickwood Field. The historic Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama, is set to host a monumental game between the San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals. The game, scheduled for June 20th, is a tribute to the Negro Leagues, a collection of leagues that provided opportunities for black players during the first half of the 20th century, when they were banned from Major League Baseball. The Negro Leagues will be commemorated, and the game will feature special jerseys honoring Negro Leagues teams that played at Rickwood Field. The Giants will wear uniforms inspired by the San Francisco Sea Lions, a Negro League team that played in the city during the 1940s, while the Cardinals will wear jerseys honoring the St. Louis Stars, a Negro League team that played from 1906 to 1931. Both teams will also have a patch on their jerseys honoring the late Willie Mays, a baseball icon who called Rickwood Field home at one time and who passed away recently at the age of 93. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Ryan Garcia's suspension and controversy. WBC super lightweight champion Devin Haney reacts. Boxer Ryan Garcia has been suspended for 1 year by the New York State Athletic Commission after testing positive for the performance-enhancing drug Ostarine. Garcia, who had announced his retirement on social media the day prior, will also have to forfeit the $1 million he won from his fight against WBC super lightweight champion Devin Haney at Barclays Center. In addition to the suspension and forfeiture, Garcia has been fined $10,000 by NYSAC. Haney expressed appreciation for the commission's decision, stating that it was the right thing. Garcia, on the other hand, reacted angrily to the news, expressing frustration at having his victory taken away. This latest incident adds to a tumultuous few weeks for Garcia, who was also arrested in June for alleged property damage. Haney, who with the disqualification now remains undefeated, expressed gratitude to the commission and fans for their support during the ordeal, stating that he was glad justice was served. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Judges urged Trump-appointed Aileen Cannon to step aside, shortly after Judge Aileen M. Cannon was assigned to oversee former President Donald J. Trump's classified documents case. 2 more experienced judges in Florida urged her to hand it off to another jurist. These judges, including Chief Judge Cecilia M. Altonaga, approached Judge Cannon separately and asked her to consider declining the high-profile case. However, Judge Cannon, who was appointed by Mr. Trump, refused their entreaties and decided to keep the case. This decision raised eyebrows because Judge Cannon has limited trial experience and has previously intervened in a way that favored Mr. Trump, only to be rebuked by a conservative appeals court panel. The fact that her colleagues tried to persuade her to step aside adds to the criticism of her handling of the case. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Donald Sutherland's legacy. A tribute to an icon in film and TV. Donald Sutherland, the acclaimed actor known for his roles in Don't Look Now, MASH, and The Hunger Games, has died at the age of 88. Sutherland's death was confirmed by his representatives, and his son, Kiefer Sutherland, shared the news on social media, describing his father as one of the most important actors in the history of film. Sutherland appeared in over 190 films and TV shows throughout his career, and though he never won a major award for his film roles, he did receive 2 Golden Globes and an honorary Oscar. Born in Canada, Sutherland studied engineering and drama before moving to London to pursue acting. Sutherland spent his formative years in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. He studied engineering at the University of Toronto before switching to English, and later attended the Academy of Music and Dramatic Art in London. He gained fame for his roles in war films like The Dirty Dozen and MASH, and went on to star in a series of critically acclaimed movies in the 1970s. Sutherland's work spanned a wide range of genres, from horror to sci-fi to drama, and he continued to act well into his later years, with roles in The Hunger Games and TV series like Lawman, Bass Reeves. Sutherland's death marks the end of an era in film, but his legacy as a talented and versatile actor will continue to live on. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Travis Scott arrested in Miami Beach ahead of European tour. Travis Scott, the 33-year-old rapper, was arrested early Thursday morning in Miami Beach for disorderly intoxication and trespassing. According to police, Scott was involved in a disturbance on a chartered yacht, where he was reportedly yelling at the crew and passengers. Officers detected a strong smell of alcohol on his breath and asked him to leave the dock, which he initially complied with. However, he returned 5 minutes later, disregarding officers' commands, and became erratic, shouting obscenities and disturbing the peace of nearby residents. Scott was taken into custody and later released on bond. This is not the first time Scott has faced legal issues, as he was involved in a fatal crowd surge at his Astroworld Festival in 2021. Scott was taken into custody around 1:17 a.m. and later posted a photo of his mugshot on Instagram. This arrest comes just days before the start of his European tour Circus Maximus. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. J.J. Redick takes the helm. Lakers' new era begins. The Los Angeles Lakers have reportedly hired J.J. Redick as their head coach in a 4-year deal, according to sources. Redick, a former NBA player and current ESPN NBA analyst, met with Lakers VP Rob Pelinka and owner Jeannie Buss over the weekend before being offered the job on Thursday morning. Despite lacking head coaching experience, Pelinka believes Redick's ability to connect with players and his basketball IQ will make him a successful coach. Redick, who has a strong relationship with Lakers star LeBron James, will look to prioritize the development of young players and create a strategic approach to utilizing Anthony Davis on both ends of the floor. The Lakers initially pursued Connecticut coach Dan Hurley before turning to Redick, but since the Lakers' coaching job offer was declined by him, Redick has been the most frequently mentioned candidate for the position in league circles, with executives from other teams anticipating his appointment and several individuals within the Lakers organization expecting the same. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. T Coronae Borealis Nova. A spectacular celestial event in the night sky. A thermonuclear explosion in the T Coronae Borealis star system could create a nova event visible from Earth with the naked eye. A white dwarf star in the system will pull in solar material from a nearby red giant, resulting in a thermonuclear explosion that increases the star's brightness. This explosion, known as a nova, can be seen for up to a week and will appear as a new star in the sky, and there will be a sudden increase in the star's brightness before returning to normal. The previous nova event from this star system occurred in 1946. Citizens astronomers are encouraged to report the event, as early detection will help NASA collect valuable data. The nova will be visible without a telescope, but those with telescopes and binoculars will have a better view. Unlike a supernova, which is the dying gasp of a single star, a nova requires two stars, usually a white dwarf and a red giant. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Justin Timberlake charged with DWI in the Hamptons. Justin Timberlake, the renowned pop star, has been arrested and charged with driving while intoxicated in the Hamptons. The incident occurred on June 18, 2024, when Timberlake, 43, was stopped by police in Sag Harbor, New York, for failing to stop at a stop sign and swerving into oncoming traffic. According to the police report, Timberlake's eyes were bloodshot and glassy, his breath carried a strong odor of alcohol, and he exhibited signs of impairment, such as inability to divide attention, slowed speech, and unsteadiness on his feet. Despite these observations, Timberlake claimed to have consumed only one martini before getting behind the wheel. He refused to submit to a chemical test, which could potentially be used as evidence against him at trial. Timberlake's attorney, Edward Burke Jr., has issued a statement expressing his intention to mount a vigorous defense against the allegations. The singer was arraigned and released without having to post bail, and he is scheduled to appear in court on July 26. His wife, American actress Jessica Biel, was reportedly extremely upset, according to sources, and was reportedly shocked and worried upon hearing the news, as she was working on her upcoming series at the time. Timberlake, who is remorseful and humiliated over the incident, is taking it seriously and aims to set a more positive example for his family and fans in the future. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Safe Superintelligence, the next era from former OpenAI innovators. Former OpenAI chief scientist Ilya Sutskever has announced the formation of a new company called Safe Superintelligence, with the goal of developing superintelligence, a type of artificial intelligence that surpasses human intelligence. Sutskever, along with former OpenAI executive Daniel Levy and AI investor Daniel Gross, will focus on revolutionary breakthroughs to achieve safe superintelligence. The trio resigned from OpenAI earlier this year, with Sutskever playing a key role in the ousting of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. Sutskever's new company will solely focus on the development of safe superintelligence, free from external pressures. Sutskever's aim is to create a controlled and safe superintelligence that will contribute to the advancement of technology, while ensuring safety, security, and progress are shielded from external commercial pressures. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Climate protesters target private jets at London Stansted Airport. 2 climate activists have been arrested for cutting through a fence and spray painting private jets orange at London's Stansted Airport. The women were detained on suspicion of criminal damage and interference with national infrastructure. Video footage captured a person cutting through the security fence and another individual spraying orange paint on at least 2 private jets using a fire extinguisher. The incident took place in a private area of the airport, 3 miles away from the main terminal. The airport spokesperson reassured the public that there was no threat, and the police confirmed that Taylor Swift's jet was not present at the airport, contrary to claims made by the environmental group, Just Stop Oil. This comes just a day after 2 activists from the same group were arrested for spraying orange paint on Stonehenge. Just Stop Oil is one of several environmental groups in Europe that have been engaging in disruptive actions to draw attention to climate change. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Dinosaur diversity uncovered. Lokiceratops shines at Museum of Evolution and Natural History Museum of Utah. A new species of dinosaur has been discovered in Montana, USA, and it's been described as the largest and most ornate of its kind. The dinosaur, named Lokiceratops rangiformis, belonged to the ceratopsid group of horned dinosaurs and lived about 78 million years ago. The fossils of the dinosaur, including a skull and partial skeleton, were found on private land in northern Montana. Lokiceratops is estimated to have measured 22 feet long and weighed about 11,000 pounds, making it the largest herbivore in its ecosystem at the time. The dinosaur is characterized by its large and asymmetrical horns and more than 20 horns along its frill. The discovery of Lokiceratops and its related species indicates a higher level of dinosaur diversity than previously understood. The skulls of Lokiceratops will be permanently displayed at the Museum of Evolution in Denmark and the Natural History Museum of Utah in the United States. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Russia weapon talks, Putin's warning and the Korean Peninsula tensions. Russian President Vladimir Putin stated in a recent interview that Russia is contemplating the delivery of weapons to North Korea. He also warned South Korea against supplying arms to Ukraine, calling it a big mistake. The comments have raised concerns among international observers, as it could potentially worsen tensions on the Korean Peninsula. The statement comes at a time when negotiations between North Korea and the United States have stalled, and the North Korean regime continues to develop its missile capabilities. The potential transfer of weapons from Russia to North Korea may complicate efforts to maintain stability in the region. However, it is important to note that Putin did not provide any specific details regarding the weapons in question or the timeline for delivery. The international community is sure to be closely monitoring the situation to see how it unfolds and assess its potential impact on regional security. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024, exploring the earliest summer solstice in 200 years with NASA. This Thursday and Friday mark the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. This year's solstice is historic, as it is the earliest in more than 200 years. The summer solstice marks the first day of astronomical summer and is the time when the sun reaches its highest and northernmost points in the sky. It is also known as the day with the longest period of sunlight. This year's early solstice could be attributed to it being a leap year, and the shift of the vernal equinox occurring around 40 to 50 minutes earlier than the previous leap year. Following the solstice is the June full moon, also known as the strawberry moon, which will reach peak illumination at 8:08 p.m. Central Time. This full moon is notable as it will be the lowest we've seen in years, making it appear bigger than ever. The summer solstice signifies the beginning of astronomical summer in the northern hemisphere, as explained by NASA. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. South China Sea Showdown. Philippines reinforces BRP Sierra Madre in rising tensions with China. It has been revealed that the Philippines has secretly reinforced a ship at the center of the South China Sea dispute. The ship in question is known as the BRP Sierra Madre, a Philippine naval vessel that has been intentionally grounded on the disputed Second Thomas Shoal since 1999. This move by the Philippines is seen as a strategic response to China's increasing presence in the region. The South China Sea dispute involves territorial claims by multiple countries, including China, the Philippines, Vietnam, and others, over various islands and reefs in the area. The diplomatic tension between these nations has escalated in recent years, with China aggressively asserting its territorial claims through artificial island building and military fortifications. The Philippines' decision to reinforce the BRP Sierra Madre is seen as a way to assert its own presence and defend its claims in the disputed waters. This development adds to the complexity of the South China Sea dispute and highlights the ongoing militarization of the region. This is the news for today, Thursday the 20th of June 2024. Hezbollah Iran threats and rising tensions with Israel. As tensions continue to rise along the Lebanese-Israeli border, Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah has warned Israel that they would face a much more formidable enemy in the event of war. Nasrallah's remarks, given during a eulogy for a senior field commander, were the most strident since Hezbollah began attacking Israel last October in support of Hamas in Gaza. While Nasrallah reiterated that Hezbollah does not want war, he cautioned that the ongoing fighting could escalate into a broader conflict. Nasrallah stated that in previous wars, Hezbollah had only hoped to strike Israel's Marin airbase, but now they have the capability to hit any target. He added that Hezbollah possesses a large stockpile of drones and new weapons that would be unveiled soon. Moreover, Nasrallah claimed that Hezbollah has continued to receive weapons from Iran, despite attacks on presumed weapons-carrying convoys in Syria, and that they are also producing weapons within Lebanon. Additionally, Hezbollah released a video showing high-resolution images of the Israeli port of Haifa and identified other potential targets in Israel. Nasrallah said that if war were to break out in Lebanon, the situation in the Mediterranean Sea would dramatically change, as Iran would target all the coastlines, ships, and ports. He reiterated that the only way for Israel to achieve an end to the conflict is to end the war in Gaza. Analysts speculate that Nasrallah's comments and threats from both sides are part of a psychological warfare aimed at deterring escalation.